Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we got one of our biggest updates for Arc Raiders since launch in the Shrouded Sky update. This is a full-on title update, so everyone, before you're able to jump in and experience all the new content, all the new gameplay updates and whatnot, we'll have to go through and download this, and this is, like I said, a major update. We've got new content, we've got new gameplay changes, fixes, adjustments, all sorts of things like that. Let's start first on the content side of things, breaking down all the new features with this update. Then we'll go through all of the update patch notes as well. So of course, Shrouded Skies is live on February 24th as of the time that you guys are seeing this video. The big update being the hurricane map condition, which is going to be absolutely awesome. I've already seen a few clips floating around and it looks cinematic as can be. It's pretty chaotic. You can use the wind to either move faster, or if the wind is going against you, it's going to slow you down, use more stamina. Debris is going to be flying around, lighting up your shield and actually degrading it some. So you might want to be taking your shield off as you're walking around outside. Like, there's a lot of strategy that can go into playing on the hurricane map condition here. We also have a new project with the weather monitoring system. This hurricane caught everyone by surprise, so we have to go through and build better systems to predict the weather in the future. We won't be snuck up on by any hurricanes now, so we'll be collecting materials and building out this weather monitoring system over the course of the next few weeks, so we can start earning progress on that. We actually have two new arc threats, the first of which is the Firefly, which was teased on the roadmap, and then also the brand new Comet as well. Now, the Firefly is a floating nightmare, an armored flying machine that emits a jet of flame, burning your raider to a crisp unless you can move quickly or find cover. So it's kind of just like a flying fireball in a sense. And then the Comet is a spherical arc machine that calmly patrols the surface until it comes across an unsuspecting raider. You better not let this one get too close. Once it sees you, it'll lock on with a frightening focus before exploding with a seismic boom. A little bit more aggressive and violent than a pop for sure, based on what I've seen so far. We also have a new free raider deck featuring a surgeon outfit as like the max reward here. This is gradually unlocked by completing the raider deck, but whether you want to be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde is up to you. Scrub up, take your oath, and head topside to heal or wreak havoc. So we've got that to look forward to and grind out. And then also what I'm very excited about, facial hair is in fact finally a thing in this game, so we can customize our characters a bit further with this. The stubble will be immediately available with the update to all players, while the full beard will be unlockable in the surgeon raider deck. There's also a stubble beard and a thick mustache available in the store as well. Then we've got a Dam Battlegrounds map update. A high security area in Dam Battlegrounds has been uncovered. The controlled access zone is a high value loot area that's just waiting to be explored. You'll know you've arrived when you see the Rocketeer chandeliers. So whole new area there on Dam Battlegrounds. Then some new cosmetic updates here. Wouldn't be a content update without some new threads for the store. So we've got the velour set. There's also going to be a backpack set and a raider tool there. The velour set will be releasing on the 24th, and the devotee set is coming soon, so we get a look at what these are going to look like as well. So quite a bit of content with this update, but there's even more patch notes with this update. So here they did share the patch notes for the 1.17.0 update, and keep in mind as we're going through all the updates, all the changes here, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on it. It's a great way to let me know you guys want to see more Arc content here. And if you're new to the channel, you want to stay informed with all the major updates and news for Arc Raiders, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Getting into the patch notes, of course, what's new? Everything we just covered in that content update here, so we are now fully informed on all of that. The patch highlights what we're going to be going over here: weapon balancing for various different guns. They added a piano in World, so you can play the piano now. I'll be gunning for those for sure. They prevented enabling all NVIDIA freestyle filters simultaneously to get an unfair visual advantage. Feats can now be re-rolled up to 3 times per day for free. They removed PvP feats, updated a few existing ones as well. Zip lines can no longer be placed on carryable objects, so we can't launch things into the sky anymore. And then mines, traps, and remote flares can no longer be placed on other deployables. So with balance changes here, we actually have a surprising amount of weapon updates in this patch. In 1.13, we shipped an update that included an optimization fix for our weapons, but as many of you noticed, this had an unforeseen consequence of lowering the total fire rate of semi-auto weapons. In 1.3.1, we reverted that fix, but something else made it into the update that shouldn't have. Many of you reported a shadow buff to some of these weapons, and after investigating it, we found that this had actually inadvertently buffed weapons. And basically, this update's going to consist of adjustments to balance out some of these weapons more. In addition to these changes, we've also been looking into the balance between our low low tier and high tier weapons. A lot of you have expressed concerns that some low tier weapons outperform some of the higher tier weapons at a significantly reduced cost, and we're hoping to shift that balance a bit while still keeping some of the flexibility to punch above your weight if you're skilled enough. So we've started by reducing the overall TTK of the Stitcher and the Kettle and increasing the maneuverability of the Aphelion and the Jupiter. We're also taking a second stab at the Venator, which still seems to be dominating a lot of PvP encounters. So on the Stitcher has played its role well as a close quarters weapon that rewards thoughtful positioning, but we found that its fast TTK can sometimes lead to situations where you're ambushed and killed before you have time to react. So because of this, they're actually reducing the TTK some. The headshot multiplier has been nerfed a little bit. The base damage was also nerfed. They also increased the per shot dispersion by about 50%, so it's going to bloom faster now. So the Stitcher will definitely be noticeably worse than it was if you were just playing yesterday, for example. On the Kettle, this has been a bit of a weird place. Its high damage output was intended to be used in a more of a medium range setting and at a more deliberate pace, but we've seen a lot of people use this up close and personal. We want to distinguish it more from the Stitcher, but we also see that you enjoy the versatility of the weapon, so we're reducing the base damage to bring its TTK more in line. Base damage was reduced there. On the Venator here, we've kept an eye on our data to show how it performs during this time. Many of you have raised concerns that it's still dominating in PvP, so they've reduced the headshot multiplier here, and then also the base damage some. The Venator will be noticeably worse as well. With the Jupiter, this does the most headshot damage in the game, but it's quite difficult to hit headshots at longer ranges. You're also quite vulnerable when you use it in closer ranges, since missing one shot will make you a sitting target until you reload or swap weapons. We're increasing how much you zoom when you ADS to give you a better view of targets you're trying to hit, then also reducing its equip and unequip time. So ADS magnification is better now, the equip time is better, and the unequip time is better as well. The Jupiter will be a little bit more aggressive and more effective over range with visibility. On the Aphelion, we weren't quite happy with the previous balancing of the Aphelion. It was intended to be more of a PvP focused legendary weapon, but it couldn't keep up with many other PvP guns. So they reduced the base reload time, the time between shots, they reduced the recoil, and improved the ADS settle speed. It's just going to be more consistent and easy to use now. With items and crafting, the energy clip is now available by default in the workbench. They've also changed the item value and cost. So on the deadline, value increased by 1,000. The trader price was also increased, and they added a new arc part as a crafting cost, so it'll be different to build now. Trailblazer increased the price and the value there, added a new arc part as crafting. Wolfpack increased the value, added a rocketeer driver that you now need to craft it, and reduced the refined explosive cost. Vita Spray value increased and added a tick pod as a crafting cost. Showstopper decreased the value, added a Hornet driver as a crafting cost, and changed the crafting component from advanced electrical components to just the standard ones. Arc parts sell value has been reduced as well in general here. With content and bug fixes, they fixed an achievement here. Animation gets a couple of updates. Animation issues while vaulting, an issue where some weapons didn't drop magazines, an issue where reattaching to a ladder after jumping could distort it, polished equip animations for pistols and the hand cannon, improved arm and weapon positioning when swapping, fixed an issue where fall damage wouldn't get applied if the player was in the knockback animation. I've seen some people sort of cheat death by being in that animation, polished low health reaction animations, and then also fixed weapon shake animations as well. With general arc updates, they fixed an issue where surveyors and fireballs could open prematurely, reduced erratic movement of arc parts. Hornets now keep their upper armor after being destroyed, making the lootable piece easier to distinguish from wasps. Fixed an issue where the Rocketeer would sometimes not shoot even if it was just looking right at you. Then also reduced cases where the Sentinel shots could pass through geometry and end up getting you through walls, which was pretty crazy. Couple of audio updates here too. Limited the bullet sound effects per trigger pull on burst weapons, reduced audio stuttering on lower spec PCs, lowered non-radio voice volumes with in-game dialogue, fixed an issue where sliding on stairs or debris could cause audio stutters. Scrappy has received feedback for being a little bit too noisy. He's gonna cluck less frequently. Look what you guys did. Reduced overall volume and rebalanced the menu, SFX, and music mix. Shortened one tube deployment music track. Birds perched on ziplines now screech with correct positional audio when they're startled. Decreased audio occlusion and obstruction slightly across the board. Then also updated acoustic guitar music tracks. I'm gonna have to check out those. With cosmetics, we do have the Valera set, the Surgeon set, the Devotee sets coming soon. Added facial hair, fixed incorrect visor, glass material on the Marco outfit, and then various instances of clipping there. With new gameplay updates, they added the piano in world, very excited about that. Fixed an issue where interactions can be triggered from too far away, allowing players to open doors, start hatches, etc. from too far away. Hold and continuous interactions now cancel when equipping another item or weapon. They fixed an issue where players could become unable to move after being revived by a defib. They prevented players from standing on or being carried by thrown grenades or other walkable items. Added missing gamepad aim assist for sentinels, turrets, shredders, and surveyors, so those will be able to be killed easier and tracked easier on controller. They disabled the queuing for practice range in a party to prevent errors where you could also skip the intro cutscene. Fixed an issue where a downed raider's body could block hatch extraction. Prevented enabling all NVIDIA freestyle filters, so you didn't get any visual buffs out of that. And you can make purchases with seeds and free loadout augments even if your stash is overflowing. In general, some performance improvements just outright. Fixed some popping issues, a crash when launching the game with DirectX 11, and also a crash that could happen when traversing zip lines. With map updates here, they fixed broken interactions near the top of certain ladders, fixed missing collision on several environmental props, and also general lighting fixes across different maps. Buried City, the chance of fighting rare loot in chimneys has been lowered a little bit on Bird City. Stellamontis gets a couple of specific updates here, including collision issues, adjusted the night lighting to improve visibility in darker areas, improved nighttime visibility at the Seed Vault, fixed an issue where lowered spillway bridges still displayed an interaction prompt, and then also an issue that allowed players to get on top of the metro trains. Blue Gate, they improved the thunderstorm lighting for better visual clarity, then also an issue where players could go out of bounds. Then we have movement updates here. Adjusted ladder jump off to match the vault jump off behavior. Fixed an issue where sliding could clip through stairs and escalators. With progression, you can now reroll feats as mentioned. They removed the PvP feats, added an expedition catch-up system to earn missed skill points from previous runs. Fixed an issue where players occasionally did not receive a skill point as intended. Then also candleberries and Blue Gate now count towards the Harvest Plants trial. With quests, they added clear ping labels for quest-related world objects. Fixed an issue where the next objective pop-up in multi-step quests could be missing or sometimes show a completed step. They also fixed an issue where the quest item could appear as world loot without the related quest being active either. Socially, they fixed when playing in a party, map selection now shows all locations unlocked by the member with the most rounds played. An issue where previous teammates could appear in the social list after starting a new session. Added clearer error messages when friend requests fail. Fixed friends appearing offline when they have more than one platform linked. Then added the ability to hide friend requests entirely if you don't want those being spammed. That's mainly like a streamer feature for sure. UI gets a bunch of different updates here. Gonna speedrun these. Item pings for items in containers now appear above the container interaction points. Added a ready up warning when deploying with Raider hatch keys into a match that has no active hatches now. Added icons to inventory tooltips when you're cycling and salvaging outputs. Fixed an issue where squad colors could be displayed incorrectly. A bug where adding a secondary keybind could overwrite the primary one. Updated localization for unique loot from new enemy variants to improve in-game naming and clarity. Improved matchmaking messaging when all parties are still topside. An issue where end of round health was not correctly shown. It's clear when you join a party in which member is topside when you're still in Speranza. You can use the mouse scroll wheel to switch between pages in the Raider deck. Polished UI text and updated translations with different languages. Added additional ping labels for various quest objects. Fixed an issue where mouse smoothing could remain enabled despite being turned off. Improved the red zipline preview. Updated a login message to clearly explain when access is restricted because you've been banned. An issue in expeditions where the timer could go negative after the departure countdown and sign up button stayed active. An issue where the repair preview was not correctly displayed. Crafting and recycling screens now display item costs and rewards in a consistent order, and the VoIP icon in the HUD is now better visually represented there. With utility, pop triggers and spotter relays can be used in quick slots now. Added a new fieldcraft item, the shaker instrument, so you can just make those outright if you want. Adjusted the Vita spray so healing applies continuously while in use to prevent exploits. Fixed an unintended behavior with the snap hook. Ziplines can no longer be placed on carryable objects again. Fixed zipline placement on arc remnants. Mines, traps, and remote flares can't be placed on ziplines or other small deployables. And the healing augment now correctly states that healing is applied instantly. With VFX here, like I said, this was a major update. They fixed an issue where Jupiter's wind-up visual could face sideways, then also an issue where the Trailblazer's gas effect could persist indefinitely. Then a couple of known issues here, things they're still looking into. If you want to read those for the sake of time, feel free to go ahead and pause the video. And then lastly, they gave us an anti-cheat update. When we shared our last update about tracking unfair play, we didn't fully convey the complexity and scale of what goes into detection. Our defenses operate on multiple levels. Some checks are simple and definitive, while others are behavioral and data-driven. We also leverage broad gameplay telemetry and machine learning techniques to spot patterns that aren't obvious at first glance. These methods take longer to develop, must adapt as a game system changes, and don't always offer instant certainty in the way that software detections can. We've recently taken action against different exploits, and we're further tightening our rules and stepping up enforcement. Serious infractions now carry stricter consequences. Strong detections will receive permanent bans right off the bat, while others receive a temporary suspension and a single chance to correct the behavior. Recent updates to family sharing have strengthened the ability to curb misconduct and streamline the removal of bad actors as well. We're also preparing to launch a systematic manual review of ban appeals. The game is young and the volume of telemetry is enormous, but this process ensures every case is handled with care as we continue to learn and invest heavily in protection. So it's going to be more strict for, permabans and whatnot, and there will be ban appeals coming up as well. Major update here with Shrouded Sky and the 1.17 update. That's going to wrap things up though. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.